Okay, everybody, I am going to start talking now. I hope everybody can hear me. What I'm going to do in this call is I am just going to go over some basic information about what's going on with Jilson right now and some information about holidays, promotions, and a couple of just quick requests. I'm going to try and keep it pretty short and sweet. If you have any questions, I'm going to open it up at the end. Because I'm recording it, I just wanted to make sure that everybody's well aware of that, because that does come into play sometimes when people might have questions once I open it up for everybody. Um, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the tariffs and how they're affecting Gilson and Roberts at this particular moment. As of right this particular second, the production on some of our Christmas product is currently on hold until we understand completely what is going to be happening with our product in general regarding tariffs. Products that are hitting the tariffs um, are currently being affected directly as they hit the port with the tariffs that are in place now. So as the product gets there, we are having to pay those to try and get our product into into our offices. Just so everybody understands, and I know everybody's heard tariff for a long time, as we've been going along, but something that cost Gilson and the production cost of a bag. So say it's a 5.99 retail bag, just as an example. This is just an example, and it would cost $1 in production, and before it would cost $1.25 with the 25% tariff before this for us to get it in our office. That bag that was costing $1.25 before in our landed cost is now costing $2.54 to get it. So that difference in the landed value is what's causing a bunch of challenges for us as a vendor. Now, I know that I've said all this before, and I know that all of you are probably sick of hearing it, but it is a drastic change in the amount of costs that are involved in producing, getting that particular product. Because when you raise your price, the last thing you're going to do is nobody. I mean, if your price goes up three times, the last thing that you're going to do is going to be have to raise your price for a 5.99 bag to 15.99 to cover a three times cost. It's just not realistic. So what we've been doing for the past month is that we are looking at new sources to be able to get our products. We've been looking in Morocco, India, South Korea, Vietnam. We did check some of the places that we are in Europe, which includes our Italy distributor for wrap. The quality of the product that was from that European really wasn't the quality of product that we wanted, that we would put our name on for Jilson and Roberts. So we're trying to currently stick with the vendors that are in Southeast Asia at this particular time, but we're not ruling out any other opportunities that might come about. We are getting sampling now that we've asked for in the past couple of months. So that is going to be able to help us to hopefully create the product in time to be able to have everything in Christmas that's not currently in stock. As stated so that's just the basics of not just holiday, but that's going to also affect everyday product as well. So we're anything that we're currently going to reprint on for every day in the line, that is also going to take effect whenever we find a new sourcing, if we're able to. We have also found that the factory that we've been using for years in China, they are actually looking to also set up factory outside of China to try and avoid the tariffs at this particular time. But that takes time. It's not something that they're going to be able to do and turn immediately um, into a production facility. So all of this is now coming into play to ensure that we are trying to get our product in as quickly as possible. We tried to do as much printing as we could ahead of time before the tariffs took effect. And moving forward, we're trying to make sure that we don't have to raise the prices. We know what you specifically state all consistently from independent sales reps is that, and we know that we are the premium product that is in the market. We understand that. We don't want to price out our products from the retail or the customers who are going to be buying it. So because of that, we're trying to do everything possible to ensure that we do as limited, if any, pricing adjustments as possible. We might have to do them. And the other challenge with that is that when we do go into production, because our product is pre-priced, all of that comes into play when we are putting into effect how we're going to be able to move forward realistically to ensure that we don't price ourselves out of the market. So that's my little 5-minute spiel on the tariffs themselves. Holiday promotion, as I stated in my last emails, the holiday promotion is currently not, has been postponed. That being said, if you're doing orders for Christmas, we are still offering December 15th dating for orders that are done for holiday. One thing that we also have not turned off at this particular time is the $600 half freight and the $900 free freight on orders. So even though we're not doing a discount currently for any holiday or everyday product, those are still opportunities for you to use on the road for people who might have, who are saying, well, what are they going to give me? Because, there are three questions that you normally ask when you go into a retail store. Show me what's new, which really right now is a little bit slower than it's been before. And then what offers do they have and can I get free freight? Those are the consistent questions you've been getting for years. So at least you still have the thresholds of the $600 for half freight, $900 for free freight. Those are still being offered. And then on the holiday orders, we are going to still continue to offer 12, 15 dating. And for shipping, we are going to be doing shipping windows like we do every year. So if there's the reason why we do shipping windows is because we start getting orders in and everybody wants them to ship at the exact same time. So we have to spread that out over a certain time period to ensure that everybody gets orders within a reasonable time period. So just make sure that when you're writing orders, you understand that if everyone's writing an order for a September 1st ship date, that it might get September the week after that because we just want to, because we have to, there's only so many people that work in a warehouse at any particular time. So as we move throughout the year, the sooner the order comes in, the better chance you have for the earlier ship date. But as we move through June, July, August, you can't really necessarily expect the same September 1st ship date for an order that you send in on August 1st. That order will probably be closer to a, mid-October date based on, the shipping and other orders that might be preceding it. So that's just to make sure that everybody is aware on shipping time periods for holiday. The other thing on holiday to make sure, is everyone's asking me about the samples and the catalogs. Now, my original expectation was that the catalogs were printed early and that everything was going to be here to be able to start production on the samples and the swatch books now. Some of the wrap that we had produced missed the shipment. So it's not on the way. There is going to be an email that I'm going to be sending out once I have a production schedule so everybody understands what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So that includes when catalogs are going to be sent. If I'm going to be sending out some catalogs before I'm going to be sending out samples, I'm still working on that. The catalogs were supposed to arrive on a shipment that came in on Friday, but that is currently still in port, and we're waiting for the tracking information on it to be able to, or the packing slip for it to make sure that the catalogs were physically on there. So that's the other thing that we're just waiting for confirmation on because the container hasn't hit our office yet. So that's extremely important information for you who need that when you're on the road. Again, please, you all have the digital catalog. So if you have the ability to use that, please do use that for customers willing to do that. You have your samples from last year, your swatch books and your totes that you can use as samples to show the quality of the product that you're going to be giving to anyone who might be new or otherwise. That information's readily available to you there. The only thing that's going to be missing currently would be the new totes. And now new totes, you're not going to be having samples on anyway. You're going to be getting samples on product that was from probably last year's new totes. We normally are a year behind when we do totes samples out to most reps, and most of you have seen that in years prior. But this year in particular, especially with production being the way that it is, we just need to make sure that we know when we're going to be able to get the new product that is being produced for totes and tissue. That being said, one thing I also want to reiterate is that all of our gift wrap is not made in China. It's made in Italy. So that is a big, strong selling point to customers who are looking for product that probably will not be affected by the tariffs because they're only the tariff percent on wrap right now is only 10%. And I think, going back and forth, it was probably considered to go up to 25%, but still 25% is a lot less than 154%. So that being said, we're doing everything possible, especially on the gift wrap, to ensure that there's not going to be any price changes in that particular category and to be able to sell that into your customers that go at any point. The next thing I wanted to mention was on the product that is going to be new. If we are going to be doing any type of price increase due to the situations as it goes forward, that information will be communicated out to reps as we move forward. If there are products that someone wants for holiday product that are existing product, where that product is going to remain at the price that it was last year. So anything that we have inventory on right now for totes and tissue and labels and tags and all that, money holders, that is all going to maintain its current pricing based on the levels of stock that we have available now. As we go through the season and things start selling, if we get to the point where we're going to be doing something that is going to be a reordered product and pricing might change, we will be communicating that out prior to any order shipping to you and your customers so you can communicate with them that this is what's happening. Do you want this particular product knowing that the price is going to be this, or do you want to substitute it out with something else? All of that information is going to be available to you as we get further into the year. This is where my next point is really important, is that communication is going to be everything between now and the time that we start shipping holiday orders. So the one of the things that I wanted to point out in this is that communication is really everything for me to you, as well as for you back to me. That is, extremely important in the way that we ensure that our customers are happy and satisfied and safe. So, the sorry, I got a chat message. I'll be answering the chats in a second. So so if I'm sending you a request, I would expect the same thing back from you that you would expect from me, is a reasonable time period to receive an answer to my particular inquiry. Whether it's the emails that I've been sending out to either sign up for one of my quarterly chats, or whether it's to check on specific customers, or if I have a question that I need for a particular customer that might need like a credit app or something else, that should be treated the same way that you would expect me to reply to you on any credit or any type of issue or challenge that your customer has to try and help you resolve an issue. I just want to make sure that we are on the same page regarding communications and courtesies going back and forth to ensure that while we're communicating, while I'm commuting out to you, that you're communicating back to me, so I'm not spinning my wheels to try and find answers to particular questions. The two of the chat things that I got, one of them was, will I be letting you know how delayed the holiday orders will be? Yes, as soon as I know if there's going to be delays in holiday orders, I will let everybody know. Will the retail pricing ticketed on the product? I don't know. Existing product, the pricing is remaining the same. Regarding product afterwards, I don't have the answer to what's going to happen after today, for the product coming down the road, whether it's going to have the existing pricing on it that's already in the catalog, or we're going to need to ticket it with new pricing, or if it's automatically going to have the other pricing. Freight incentive, does it include SandyCast items? SandyCast is no longer a separate company from Gilson and Roberts. It's all been one company for about a year now. It started not this year, but last year, last January. Gilson and SandyCast merged into one company. So orders that you write for Gilson and Roberts product can include SandyCast product. So that all of it is now considered one order. Um, so let's and the last thing I wanted to touch on before I start answering any other questions is FAIR. The reason that I want to have this conversation about FAIR is I'm constantly getting questions about the processes that we do for Gilson and Roberts regarding orders that we receive from anyone who orders on FAIR. The the challenge with FAIR is that everyone feels that they're in competition with FAIR. And in some cases, that's true. In some cases, that's not true. I consider FAIR the same way I would consider anyone writing an order in any trade show, whether it's Atlanta, Las Vegas, or anywhere else. If someone writes an order at a trade show, that person who writes that order gets credit for that order, and then the information is forwarded to the rep who handles that particular customer from that point on, if it's an existing customer. So that being said, if it's an existing customer that writes an order on FAIR, that order actually, if it's an existing customer that, let me backtrack a second. If it's an existing customer that orders on FAIR, then that rep gets credit for that order and you receive a copy of that order. So if it's a new customer that's ordering on FAIR that we don't know that anyone is communicating with, then any order they write on FAIR is that order they write on FAIR, and that goes through FAIR all the time. That being said, every month I publish a list on my Rap Chat of any customer that has ordered on FAIR. So every rep has the opportunity to download that list, sort it by state, take anyone out that's in their specific territory, reach out to them to turn them into your account to try and make it so they order from you. That's really the best low-hanging fruit that I can give you. Now, if they go and continue to order on FAIR, I can't change that from FAIR at that point. It would be the same thing as if that same customer kept writing orders in Atlanta or keeps writing orders in Las Vegas, because that's where the orders are being written. So the only opportunity that it has for an individual is that you can build your relationship with that customer to try and have them come over to you. Now, the question is regarding the deals that FAIR offers versus anywhere else. Now, to be on FAIR, to be able to get any type of deal, they have to pay for it. They're paying $20 a month as part of a program to be able to get whatever FAIR is offering. They're not getting it for free. So they're paying for those particular benefits. So if that customer wants to continue paying for those benefits, which are normally net 60 and free freight, they're paying for that. I want to make sure that everyone understands that. It's not just something they get because FAIR decided to give it out to everybody. They're paying for that. Yes, in your first year, you do get some incentives, but once that time period is over, that is the same. There are no price differences from what I offer on FAIR to anywhere else. I don't offer anything different on FAIR that you don't have yourself. Now, and again, some things to take into consideration is that FAIR, you can do the half freight offer that has $600. You can do the free freight offer at $900. You know, that's things that you can use to try and help you with those particular customers. If someone says, "Oh, well, I get net 60 on my orders with FAIR," ask me. Don't just assume that I'm not going to give you something. This is where the communication comes back into play. If you don't ask me, then I can't give you an answer and I can't help, which means that you're just going to get angry at FAIR because they're holding their customers. You're going to get angry at us because we're not sharing with you the same discounts that they're giving. That's not what the point of this whole thing is, in my opinion. The whole point of this is that I want to try and make sure that you have every opportunity to help these particular customers. And one thing that you offer that FAIR doesn't offer is service. You know, you can go in, you can help them write the order, you can help them put out the order, you can help create things that are going to fit in with their particular stores. You're selling yourself as a salesperson like you've been doing since you started selling, which is, you know, 50% of what you do is selling not just the products that you have, but selling yourself as the person who's going to be able to help them write their orders. So this is where you come into that particular issue and go into that account and say, look, I saw that you ordered on FAIR. I am your local sales representative for Gilson and Roberts. Can we work together for all of your future orders? I can help you with ordering. I can help you in the store. I can come set the product if you want. I can work that, whatever however you work with your particular customers is what you should be able to do with those fair opportunities. So I want to make sure that everybody is understands that I'm not holding back any information from fair. Everything is black and white. It's all out there. There's nothing different from that, from what they ordered then to what you order. Except, truthfully, if I ever do a promotion on Fare, if I ever offer a half freight offer, I can't offer that there. The only half freight or reduced freight offers that we can offer would be to you, like the $29 flat rate fee that we offered. I can't offer that on Fare because they don't have that option available. So that's something that only you have the ability to use. The last thing on Fair is the fact that I have provided everybody a list, or if I haven't, please let me know. But everybody should have a direct link that allows you to give that to your customer, that if they have never ordered on Fair before from Gilson and Roberts, they can use that link and you will get automatic credit for that order for any direct order that comes in from one of your customers. So for example, say you have a customer that you're in all the time and they don't currently carry Gilson and Roberts, and you show it to them and they say, well, I'm interested, but I don't have time to go through the full catalog with you during this visit or whatever. You can always give them that direct link, email it, make sure you email it to them, because if you email it to them, then you have a trail that I can give back to Fair showing that you gave them the direct link in case they forget to use it. I've been working on one of those all week with one of our other reps. One of our reps, I don't even know if she's here or not, but I've been working on it. I mean, I've been going back and forth with Fair for a long time trying to resolve this one particular customer. And all I had to do was send them a copy of her email saying, this is the email that, showing that who you sent it to, the email address you sent it to, and that it had the direct link on it. And as long as it has that link on it, the commission was removed. I mean, everything was changed from Fair and went directly to that rep on all that, the order that was done and all future orders. I am more than willing to work with you as much as I can to try and help. Um, so, that would be the situation. Now, so there are people who don't, who I'm going to say, I see the text from Ace here, and Ace, you know, if they if I'm not saying that you should show them Fair. That's really not the case. I'm just giving you another sales option. It's not like customers ordering from Amazon, because Amazon is well, we don't directly do that from us as a retail standpoint. As a resell, as a manufacturer on Amazon, it's a completely different thing. And the other thing is that Market Time also has the ability for people to go on there and place their own orders, and they don't use independent sales reps. So that's something just as a side note. But everyone has their own opinion on Fair. If you feel that it's a competitor and you don't want to use it, fine, don't. I'm not telling you to use it, but it is something that is, in this day and age, a tool for those people, especially the younger buyers. And I'm going to say that nicely because that's what a lot of these particular people are that are using Fair. These younger buyers go on and they don't have the time, the resources, or they'd much rather sit there and go through different vendors and place their orders there, because for them it's easier than sitting down with someone in their store for 2 to 3 hours when they're the only ones that are in their stores. We all know that our visits, when we do our presentations in these stores, the time periods that we have with them have gone down because they don't have a lot of the staff like they did in the past. There are times that we had 2 to 3 hour visits with some of our stores, and the time periods now go down to either an hour or 2 hours. But while you're there, they have to get up to help other people, so they lose concentration in the flow and what you're doing with your presentations. Understanding that, this just gives another sales opportunity for things to happen, either if you don't get to it during your visit, or for reorders that they might need between visits. Because if you only get to an area once every 4, 6, 8 weeks, there might be time periods where customers do need orders in between. So it's really just a tool that I'm giving you. That's another option. Again, if you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. If you don't want to do it, that's perfectly fine. I'm just giving you more information to try and help you sell where you can for you to be able to get credit for things. The last thing again, the last point that I'm just going to reiterate again, because I think it's the most important thing as a sales manager is communication. And I'm going to say it time and time again. You're going to see emails about it. You've seen emails about it in the past. It's a two-way street regarding communication and anything that we have here. If I have a question for you, please answer it in a timely manner. If you have a question for me, my plan is to respond to you in a timely manner as well. The only aspect of that I'm going to touch on just for a quick second is that my cell phone, as of yesterday, died. So if anyone sends me a text for the next 2 days while I'm waiting for my new phone to arrive, you might be easier sending me an email versus a text. That way I can respond to you quicker because I got a text from somebody yesterday at 10 o'clock. They sent it and I didn't receive it until 6:30 last night. So that being said, just as a warning to everybody, if you're texting me and I haven't replied to you, it's only because I probably haven't received it. For the next couple of days, at least probably to the end of the week, I would suggest you would either email me or call me if you have any questions. And that is really where I am. I think I answered everybody's question in the chat. I am going to open it up for questions for anyone that wants to ask a question while we're still recording. Oh, actually, you can unmute yourself if you have a question that you want to ask, or raise your hand and I can try and unmute you, or you can unmute and raise your hand. And then if you want, I'll stay on for another few minutes after the recording's over and for any other questions.
Are you showing in Vegas?
I'm
Oh,
sorry. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, are you showing in Vegas?
We don't do any trade shows.
Okay.
That's really the standard for Gilson. It's been that way since before I even started. The costs for doing them it's just far too expensive. So we don't show at different trade shows. I might sometimes go to them. I currently don't have any plan to go to any of the summer shows. The last couple of times that I've gone, there really hasn't been a lot that's been going on at the shows. But if anyone wants me to come to a show, I can do that. Or if anyone is looking for someone to come on the road with them, I'm actually trying to schedule some time on the road with some people as well to try and, help with anyone who has any questions on Gilson and Roberts, or if you have any larger customers or any customers that you would like a representative from our office to come with you to that visit. Please let me know so I can schedule a time.
Hey Jeff, it's Lori Klein. So I have a customer who's trying to finish their holiday already. So are you saying we can write the old, but
Yep.
we're not and we can't write the new with the promo, but can we write the old with the promo?
No, we're not using the promo at all right now because the product,
No
even though we
promo.
might have, right now, there's no promo because there are some product that we are receiving in now for Christmas that was carryover items, but is still getting hit by tariffs, just not the big tariff. So,
And
but
soon
you write the order for everything. And then what we do is we're going to ship the first part. We're internally going to separate that order out if we have to later on from product that is existing to anything that might have any challenges for later on. And we'll communicate that before we ship anything else out. So for example, if you write an order for every day for everything in the catalog and something new is on that, we'll let you know in August that this is where we're at with inventory and this is what might happen. And we're going to ship this order. We might separate it into two when it ships, but we're going to do everything we can to communicate any challenges. What we're telling everyone, write an order like you normally would write an order, but just the promotion with the discounts and the freight, those are what's currently on hold.
but they still get dating.
Dating's good, yes.
Okay, and then, but if it's in stock in the old, can it ship right away or does it have to ship in?
Due to we can't ship Christmas right away at this time because the rolls aren't necessarily even made yet.
Mm,
We have them in reams and we're in the process of converting those into rolls. Just so everybody knows, I want to also reiterate this too. The gift wrap, it was manufactured in Italy, but produced in the United States. So what we do is that we get the reams from our production facility in Italy, and then we turn them into rolls in California. So they're assembled in the United States. So um, for those customers who have that particular concern, that for product of that nature. But to answer your question, we're not shipping earlier right now than September 1st for Christmas.
okay,
That
thank
was
you.
as of the conversation I had yesterday. The plan is, I mean, because we were working on trying to ship out Christmas earlier for those customers that needed it. But at this particular point, the determination was made that we're not going to do that. We're just going to start shipping like we normally do on September 1st.
Thank you.
Jeff,
You're welcome.
Jeff, you mentioned that we might put, let's say, September 1st date, but it may go out in October. Are we, do we get to know when it's going to ship? So if we put September 1st and it's going to go out in October, are you going to be, is the communication there for that,
Yeah.
for the customer?
Normally, I
Okay.
mean, normally a lot of people don't have their order ship in September 1st. A lot more people have it shipped probably in October, but we put those windows in there to try and ensure that we can do what we can to fit those in there. If there's any challenges regarding shipping, we normally let people know if it's something that's going to be substantially delayed. The other thing that normally caused delays in the past has been receiving the receipt of the new product because for a couple of years, last year we were really good getting the holiday product early, but there were some stragglers that came in a little bit later in September for the brand new stuff. It's just right now because of everything going on, I don't know if there's going to be that delay. As in the email that I sent, we had the June 30th date that we put on there for communications about what's going to happen because that's our last drop dead date to be able to go to production on Christmas to get it on time for September. So because of that, more information will be made available after that on that date, or at least hopefully before that date, if not the week after. I don't plan on telling everyone like on the 4th of July that Christmas isn't coming. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully on that time we'll be able to know more about um, what's happening price wise and collection wise. Because all this might become the moot if we can find a new production facility. We have all these conversations about what's happening, and then if we start making it somewhere else, then none of it matters.
Jeff, is there a chance that instead of increasing the pricing that you would do like a light item invoice that like a tariff surcharge?
I doubt it.
Um,
The reason that I doubt it is because we know that there are other of our competitors that did it last year and the year before, and it caused a lot of problems with that particular vendor, or that customer, with that manufacturer. What they did is they put a surcharge on their orders based on certain things, and they lost a lot of customers. So we're trying not to, and the reason why on that and no surcharge as well is because we're pre-priced. That is not something they can make up with the pricing change of a particular product. So if you
correct.
just add a surcharge on there, yeah.
That's why I asked about if you're going to increase the pricing on products that they've already pre-booked, are you also going to re-sticker the product so that they're not losing that or eating that money?
The product that they're going to get is going to be reflected in the cost is going to reflect the retail of what's going out there. So if I'm sending out something at one retail, they're going to pay the 50% of that retail. If something gets a new retail price and it's stickered with that retail price, they're going to get the 50% off of that price. Is that making sense? They're not going to be paying new wholesale on a different retail that doesn't match. Everything is going to match.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, and are we going to be able to give our customers an opportunity to adjust their holiday pre-book if there are items that are going up, but other items that are not, like maybe they would want to adjust and pick a different product.
Yeah, that's what we talked about already. There was, I don't know, at the beginning, is that we're going to be communicating when we get ready to start shipping orders for what's available and what's not available,
Are you going
or
to
what's going to have
communicate
price
that with the
changing.
customer though? Like, are you going to send an updated order copy with updated pricing? Or are you just going to communicate, like, here's an Excel sheet of what's going up? I guess
We're
is
still
what I'm
determining how we're going to communicate it. More than likely, what we're going to do is we're going to give you the information to reach out to your customers versus us contacting the customers all directly. I think that would be more. The challenge there is we have to come into what's going to be more efficient, and we're going to learn that when the time comes, because there are definitely times where it's easier to communicate necessarily with a customer directly versus the time that you might be in the road or at trade shows or whatever might happen at a particular time. So I think that it's going to be one of those things that it's going to be on the fly, and we're going to learn how to take care of a specific situation. And again, hopefully none of this is going to come into play. Hopefully we're going to either have the tariffs are going to something's going to happen with what the existing ones, or if we change facilities, then it's not going to affect, the product that we're moving forward with. But if it does, communication is going to be sent to you probably first saying, look, you sent in the order for this particular customer. This is what the order has on it. These items are fine. These items are changing. Reach out to your customer and let us know what they want to do. That's really the way that I currently see how we're going to do it. Does that make sense? And that's again where we're going to have to come into play. And I know that you're probably going to get tons of emails from your vendors saying that this is happening, but we need to just make sure that we button down on the communication when it happens to ensure that I don't, the last thing that I want is an order to sit for 2 to 3 weeks, packed and ready to go on how to handle something as well. Once we communicate, we need to do everything possible to ensure that order is resolved one way or another, whether it's ship it the way that it is, take these off and I'll do a new order for the other stuff or anything else new that they want, or make these adjustments.
Jeff, I have two questions. The first one is, did you say that the ACE discount is on hold now or for holiday orders?
Well, the Ace is different. I think the Ace is totally different. Ace has their own program. The only thing that's currently on hold are the promotions. If you're
Okay.
someone looking for that has on an existing program, that program remains currently in place at this time.
Okay.
That being said, I just want to bring this because it's something that I was working on yesterday too. So I was talking with one of our reps, and he was talking to a buyer that said that they said that Ace stated that our vendor number was turned off. We actually have somebody who's been working on the back end to try and make sure that everything is okay, that we're going to be able to bill Ace stores through Ace Corporate, which is not something we've been able to do before. I just got approval to do it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and the back end process is taking substantially longer time than we thought it was going to. So we are now just waiting. We've sent everything over to Ace to be able to turn our vendor numbers back on, to be able to do that. It's just now a matter of waiting for them to get us the information that we need so I can communicate that out to everybody once it's done.
Okay. And the second,
But Ace stores, if they're going to bill to the Ace store itself, you're fine with the current program as it is. That only affects billing corporately.
thank you. And secondly, how often is the in-stock report updated?
I update it every Monday.
Every Monday. Okay. And is it pretty accurate? I mean, till the next week or?
I mean, if someone comes in and writes a big order for a product, that could happen at any particular time. I mean, so I don't see that in between time periods, but I would say normally, I mean, I put 3 things on there. I put out of stock, limited availability, and on hand. That's what I put on there, because putting specific numbers, that I think is a little bit useless, because if putting numbers in there make it a little bit more challenging. But it's normally fairly accurate.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the recording now.